India, you get Indian food a lot, innit? So she's like, yeah, but back then we just call it food. Us as Asians, we have that when there's gatherings and stuff, it's really big. Weddings are really big. Food, there's a lot of food.
But there's one thing to remember for girls: don't look too paying on weddings, because you know, like aren't even looking at you, and just like getting married to their sons. So yeah.
That's obviously all dressed to impress them.
Come on, no. When the auntie is looking out for you, like you want her. Like,
yeah, obviously can't be too sure with our family, my family especially, because like a lot of people, I don't know, it's like your competition between them.
I do think family is important. I mean, we require it as biological animals. Every animal has parents to be born and then parents to raise them. Very, very few species are capable of sort of knowing everything they know from birth. Particularly with the human race, we depend enormously for several years upon our family before we're ready to sort of become adults and have our family of our own. I think parents in particular, as you grow up, you'll sort of try and distance yourself from your parents. You might respect them a lot less, you might want some more freedom, but I think what a lot of people tend to forget is that they've given you all of this, and they didn't choose you as their child, and you didn't choose them as your parents. But despite this, they've loved you and they've cared for you, and they've brought you into the world and helped you. So I think we owe them a lot.
Family isn't only your mother or your father. Family are the people who are important for you, who help you, the people you can trust. And sometimes they aren't your parents, sometimes they are your friends or something.
Right Choice is an independent school that operates in the borough of Greenwich, and it works with young people who are excluded from mainstream provision.
Just to explain my role here, at work I am the pastoral care officer, and the role that I embark on is supporting the students and also the parents and carers, and this is with their social and emotional needs. I have daily contact with the young people and also with the parents, and we do try and meet their needs, because before, education is important, but I do believe that before you can actually engage a young person in the classroom, you have to be able to meet their social and emotional needs first.
I think family, it affects me in the fact, obviously, I think I take my family a little bit for granted. Like, they've always been there, they've always been around, so I take them for granted a little bit. I don't value them as much as I should. So yeah, that's the effect it has on me. But at the end of the day, I take them for granted, but if they were gone, I'd miss them a lot. So
I see family positively for many different reasons, because it creates your character and defines you as a person, and knowing your roots to me is a very strong part of my character.
So Somali culture is pretty much infused with Italian culture, because our country was colonised by Italians, and we've taken on of the impact of their culture and stuff like that, and she lived in Italy for a couple of years as well. And as you can see, the kitchen's pretty messy because dinner time is this messy time the culture and stuff like that, and she lived in Italy for a couple of years as well. And as you can see, the kitchen's pretty messy because dinner time is this messy time because I've got 6 brothers and sisters, which is quite a lot, and I don't think there are many Somalian families with not many kids, because Somalis love having children around, and big families are part of us.
Family has changed a lot over the years, I think, from when I was growing up. I think that now we have a broader definition of what family is. It could be a foster family. I grew up, the first few years of my life, I grew up in a foster family. Some people grow up having been adopted, so they grow up in an adoptive family. Some people grow up in care. So I think the idea of family becomes very, very broad and loose. And I think whether the young person grows up in an adoptive family, whether they grow up in a foster family, whether they grow up in the care system, whether they grow up with their own family, insofar as that environment is warm, loving, supportive and nurturing, I think everybody would do well, or will have the ability to do well. So those are the changes that I've seen as I've grown up about family.
Family has shaped me as a person in many ways, really. I think like what I took from my childhood was the things that I didn't agree with, like the discipline, the smacking, the coldness, and it just made me more determined that my children would never feel that coldness or that fear from me. And I know that now they've gone on to do the same with their own children. But one of the things that did shape me is my mum and dad are very generous, very kind, like, you know, they'd give me anything, and now I know that that's me as a person as well. I'd give my children, my grandchildren, anything. So yeah, I've taken different bits of it and changed what I felt needed changing, and feel like I've done maybe a better job emotionally than my parents were able to do. And I think the positives I've taken is the generosity, and you just got to give to your children so that they then in turn give to theirs.
Family is love. That's it, that's love. That's all you need to have for your family, love. Without love, you haven't got family.